Godzilla versus Kong, or Godzilla versus King Kong and his magic axe. I After just seeing the trailer, it's, you know what you're getting up front. It's the entire premise of like the story. Godzilla is gonna fight King Kong. They've got him off of Skull Island. They have a native girl, which, let's be honest with ourselves here. There's going to be something magical. The trailer has it to where they show the little girl. Oh, she has a friendship with Kong, and so like, oh, the friendship is what enables him to be like her protector. And at the same time, a few seconds later, they show, oh, by the way, this has been going on for a while. Apparently, this is something that there was a war between like other monsters, which the latest Godzilla film kind of set us up for. Pretty good. And there's this bigger history. There's this bigger story with the hopes of a franchise. Let's be honest with ourselves. But now we have Godzilla and Kong, and they're going to throw down. So, if I have to make a prediction, so Godzilla is going to own like the first, I'd say 3 rounds if we're doing this by like match rules or like whatever. For the most part, they have their initial like clash at the very beginning. This is my prediction, or predictions. You know, they're gonna have their first big like head to head at the very beginning of the film. There's gonna be a lot in the middle, that has just people talking and theorizing about, you know, like, oh, what does this mean? And we found this in South America, and we found this in Greater East Asia. Like these apparently there's a big giant like handprint that Kong may or may not have left there several million years ago, something like that. So it's going to be sort of like a reason to, why is this happening? That's going to be 90% of the movie. Like, why is this happening? Which, that question, I forget who the character is, but he was one of the most annoying characters for me, like with the most recent like Godzilla film that came out a few years ago. It's like, Godzilla's hurting people. Why is he doing that? You know, why is he breaking character? Because Godzilla has always been known for being calm and even-tempered. Why is he doing this? Okay, before I just like... I want this movie to be good. I want this movie to be good specifically because this was my introduction into Godzilla and kaiju related like movies and like that. And what do I mean by this? Well, what do I mean by this is this guy right here. I remember seeing this. I forget when I was like, I think 6 years old, something like that. And this film is very, like, nowadays this would be like very entertaining in a kind of schlocky sort of like format. It's like that popcorn movie where you put it on and you just have a good time with like the really retro special effects and the weird like story notes and things like that. And you're just having a great time, you and your buddies, just like making fun of it. Well, let's be honest. That's what you do with that movie. You're not watching King Kong versus Godzilla as a means of sort of stimulating higher cerebral sort of like analytical qualities or anything like that. You're watching it because you want to have fun. And I think that this film can definitely be a lot of fun as long as it doesn't take itself too seriously, which that's kind of what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling that like they're going to take themselves a bit too seriously, and that might actually detract from the overall like enjoyment, because that's what they did in the last Godzilla flick, which is like watching the monsters just like bash heads and just like, you know, fight. That's what we showed up for, but the studio didn't know how to stretch that out to over an hour and a half, so it was a lot of this was just, you know, like, okay, we have the monsters at the beginning, the monsters at the end, and all this area was just people making theories and arguing among each other as to like, well, do we protect the giant monsters that may or may not kill all of mankind? Do we? Should we? Like, no, like, and yes, Mothra. All right, always, always number one queen of the kaiju, Mothra. So I mean, like, I got no beef there. But giant pterodactyls and three-headed extraterrestrial dragons and like, let's be honest with, like, Godzilla is a threat. The biggest possible threat that anyone could ever, like, suffer against. So, like, yeah. So, okay, prediction one is that this, like many kaiju films, is going to have a lot of filler. You're going to have your beginning match, and then close to, like, my second prediction, our main card, you know, like the Godzilla vs. Kong, that's going to happen maybe, like, overall 20 minutes before the very end of this film type thing. Third one is that magic's going to be involved. Now, if you've seen the trailer, then you see that Kong is using some kind of like a warhammer or like an axe of some kind that is somehow able to absorb the radiation blast from Godzilla. It's a movie about giant monsters fighting. It doesn't have to make, like, logical sense. I don't need a scientist saying, "Oh, this is plausible." No. That's not why we watch these types of movies. We watch these types of movies to have fun, just kind of like seeing, you know, special effects go to work. I mean, seriously. Yeah, like, hopefully it won't be too complicated. Hopefully they don't try to make it make sense. Oh, by the way, like in the last movie, oh God, how does Godzilla get everywhere? Oh, it's because the world is hollow. Scientists said that it wasn't, and it is. And please, studio, don't do that to us. Please don't do that. Please don't try to have this make sense. Like, if you want to throw in magic in there, I'm fine with that. Okay? So my predictions are a lot of filler. It's going to be like, our main battle is going to be like 20 minutes till, and there's going to be magic. None of these things are bad things. In fact, if it's done right, they can work out really well, and it can be a lot of fun. So, like I said, I have a bit of nostalgia because watching these two titans, bump fists, was that was what got me into, like, Godzilla movies, like, so long ago. And I would like to see this as like a polished glow up from where they started out, you know, decades and decades ago. So, anyways, Godzilla vs. Kong, it looks like it's going to be fun. Like, overall, it looks like it's going to be fun. I would kind of make some predictions here and there about, well, you know, as long as they try to make it fun for the audience. Then everybody should have a good time. But those are my predictions. It's going to have a brief fight in the beginning, brief fight at the end, a lot of filler, like, in between. There's going to be and there's going to be something having to do with magic. Like I said, I don't mind that. I do not mind magic being involved in a war of monsters. Not at all. Might actually improve things, for all I know. So anyways, okay. So, Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it's just a great old time, no matter what they do. So, yeah. So, thank you very much for joining me once again on Movie Ninja, and here's to hoping that we have a great movie out of this sequel.